All right, let's get into it. Today we are digging into the playbook of a travel giant, Booking Holdings. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar marketing machine, and what's so fascinating is how they're absolutely crushing it right now, while at the same time they're pouring money into a future that, well, it looks nothing like today. So you got to pay attention to this quote. It's everything. It's the key that unlocks how Bookings thinks. You know, they're not about those splashy Super Bowl ads. No. They are a humorless machine. It's all about metrics, data, and relentless optimization, down to the hour. They've made marketing a science, and where they put their money, well, that tells us exactly where they think the world of travel is going.
So first up, let's talk about their engine room, the foundation of the entire empire. We're talking about Google Search. This is the arena where they are, without a doubt, the masters.
So why Google? Why is it so critical? Because it captures you, the traveler, at the moment of highest commercial intent. I mean, think about it. When you type hotels in Lisbon into that search bar, you're not just daydreaming. You've basically got your wallet out ready to buy. And Booking? Well, they built their entire empire on owning that single priceless moment. Okay, 88%. This number is huge, and it's critical to understanding how this whole game is played. This is how many of us won't even consider a hotel if it's got less than a 3-star rating. Just think about your own behavior. You search, and what's the next thing you do? You check the reviews, you filter by a rating. So Booking knows to even get in the game, you have to show up when people use those filters. And since Google pretty much owns that space, winning on Google's page is step one. If you're not there, you're invisible.
Let's just walk through the journey, right? It all starts with a very specific search. Then you use Google's own tools to narrow it down. Price, reviews, you name it. And then, at that final, crucial moment, the book step, who's right there, perfectly positioned to grab that click? You guessed it, Booking.com. It's brilliant, really. They slide in right at the end of the process, and a lot of the time you don't even have to leave Google's page.
Now, you might think a channel that's been around this long would be kind of tapped out. But no way. According to Booking themselves, the clicks they get from Google for places to stay are still growing, year after year. This isn't some shrinking pie. For Booking, search is this massive cash cow that just keeps on producing, and it's that cash that fuels everything else they're about to do.
Okay, so they've got search totally locked down. But they're not stopping there. They're expanding the hunt. And that brings us to part 2. Their big strategic push into social media.
And this is the billion-dollar question that Booking's executives are probably asking themselves every single day. I mean, can you really build a long-term future on just one channel? Especially a channel you don't even own that's controlled by another tech giant. That's a huge risk. So if you want to secure your future, you've got to diversify.
This slide nails the difference perfectly. Search, like we just talked about, is all about capturing intent. It's for people who already know they want to go somewhere. Social, that's a whole different ballgame. Social is about creating inspiration. It's about getting in front of you before you've even thought about your next vacation and planting that little seed of an idea. It's moving way, way up the funnel.
And look, this isn't just talk. They are putting serious cash behind this. Their spending on social media ads jumped by a whopping 25% compared to last year. That's a huge signal. It's a clear, deliberate move to build out a whole new way to find customers and, of course, to become less dependent on Google.
So, we've gone from capturing intent on search to creating it on social. And now we're at the final piece of the strategy, the really forward-looking stuff. Preparing for a world that might just be run by AI. This is the new frontier.
So what in the world is an AI travel agent? Well, just imagine talking to something like ChatGPT and saying, hey, find me a 5-star hotel in Mexico City for next weekend. I want to have some great food. And the AI just gets it. It finds live hotel rates, it compares the options for you, and it books the whole thing. And guess where it gets that hotel inventory from? A partner, like Booking.com. This is the future they're getting ready for today.
This table shows you how the entire ground is shifting under our feet. The old world, it was all about being the best at bidding in Google's auction. You know, cost per click. That was the skill. But the future, that's totally different. It's not about bidding anymore. It's about sharing the revenue. And the most important skill isn't marketing savvy, it's how good your tech is. How fast is your API? Can it connect seamlessly?
The whole interface we're used to, that Google search page, it just dissolves into a conversation.
And Booking is not sitting on the sidelines waiting for this to happen. This quote from their leadership team says it all. They are actively working to embed themselves into this new AI-driven future. By partnering up with the big players like OpenAI, they're making sure that when these AI agents need to book travel, Booking's system is the first, the best, the go-to plugin. They're basically training the AI to depend on them from day one.
So, let's wrap this all up. When you look at Booking's game plan, it's not about picking one thing over another. It's an incredibly pragmatic two-track playbook. It really boils down to this. On one hand, they keep milking that incredible cash cow, Google search. It's high intent, it's high margin. Then they take that money and they redirect it. They pour it into the channels that are showing promise. That's social media today, and it's definitely AI tomorrow. They're literally using today's profits to build the plumbing for the future. It's just a remarkably disciplined and smart way to operate.
Which leaves us with this final question to chew on. Booking absolutely mastered the cold, hard math of the search era. But as we move into a future that's more about conversation and inspiration and AI, will that humorless machine be smart enough to keep winning? That right there is the billion-dollar question.